What's going on, everyone? My name is John with Value and Mortar, and I'm an economist. Today we're talking portfolio building. Now that you locked down your budgeting frameworks from our last video, stopped the structural overspending, and started reclaiming control of your monthly cash flow, you're probably looking at a growing cash balance and asking yourself, what's the next move? If your plan is just to let that hard-earned capital sit indefinitely in a traditional checking or savings account, you're making a classic financial mistake that's quietly draining your purchasing power. To understand why, we have to look at a foundational economic concept: inflation. Think of inflation as a silent, invisible tax. It's the microeconomic rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rises. When it moves up, every single dollar you own buys a smaller percentage of a good or service in the future. So if inflation across the economy is running at 3% or 4%, and your traditional bank account is paying you 0.01%, your money isn't safely chilling, it's actively shrinking. Back in 1987, the legendary hip-hop duo Eric B. and Rakim dropped a line on Paid in Full that perfectly captures the shift from surviving to building. Rakim said, "Thinking of a master plan, 'cause ain't nothing but a sweat inside my hand." That's the exact inflection point you're at right now. You put in sweat to fix your budget. Now you need the master plan so your money can start sweating instead of you. From an economist's perspective, you can't simply save your way to true financial freedom or build generational wealth. You have to move from the mindset of a consumer and a saver into the mindset of an owner. See how powerful this shift is? Let's take a quick trip back through economic history to the year 1602. The global economy was shifting rapidly, and the Dutch East India Company did something that changed humanity's financial architecture forever. They became the first corporation to issue public bonds and shares of stock to the general public. Before 1602, if you wanted to participate in the massive wealth generated by global trade, you had to be a king, a queen, or an ultra-wealthy merchant with immense capital. But by creating a public stock market, regular, everyday citizens could pool their smaller amounts of capital, buy a fractional share of a massive enterprise, and directly participate in the wealth creation of the global economy. That's exactly what you're doing when you deploy your first $10,000 today. You aren't gambling, and you aren't speculating on hype. You are buying fractional ownership in the most productive, profitable enterprises and assets on earth. How do we structurally allocate that first $10,000 safely, analytically, and effectively in 2026? We rely on a framework called asset allocation. Asset allocation is simply the financial version of a balanced diet. It's an investment strategy that aims to balance risk versus reward by adjusting the percentage of each asset class in your portfolio according to your specific time horizon, tolerance for volatility, and long-term targets. For a foundational $10,000 portfolio designed for steady compounding, structural protection, and a generational wealth creation, we want a blueprint that gives us maximum stability, consistent upside, and a tactical edge. So let's break down the math. First, 60% of our portfolio, which translates to $6,000, goes directly into core broad market ETFs. An ETF is like a massive basket of hundreds of different individual stocks that you can buy all at once through a single share on the market. Instead of trying to guess which individual tech or healthcare company is going to win over the next decade, you're buying a tiny slice of the entire productive economy. By allocating $6,000 into a low-cost ETF that tracks the S&P 500 or the total stock market, you're instantly diversified across technology, manufacturing, energy, and retail. It's the rock-solid foundation, the mortar of your entire financial house. Next, we allocate 20% or $2,000 into undervalued stocks. This is where the value in Valiant Mortar truly comes to life. An undervalued stock is a company whose current shares are trading in the open stock market for significantly less than what the business is actually worth on an intrinsic level. Think of it like finding a high-quality, structurally perfect luxury house that's temporarily mispriced like a fixer-upper because the neighborhood is having a quiet week. Analytical investors, we look for stable businesses with great cash flows, minimal debt, and strong leadership that the broader market is temporarily overlooking or panicking about. Buying these assets gives your portfolio a massive asymmetric upside when the market inevitably realizes their true underlying worth. Now, let's talk about the next 10%, which is $1,000. We're allocating this to safer alternative asset tracks and fixed income, specifically split between sovereign bonds and a dedicated savings allocation for a down payment on a real estate mortgage. This is where we lay down the physical brick and mortar. A bond is essentially an IOU issued by a government or corporation. You lend them your money, and in return, they contractually promise to pay you back with regular interest payments over a fixed period of time. By allocating a portion of your capital here or inside a high-yield savings vehicle explicitly carved out as a future down payment for a real estate property, you're building a defensive anchor. This slice adds a unique, uncorrelated layer of diversification to your portfolio, meaning it doesn't move in perfect lockstep with the volatile savings of the stock market, preserving your wealth and setting up future real estate leverage. Finally, the remaining 10%, the last $1,000 of our $10,000 pool, stays in cash or ultra-liquid cash equivalents, like a high-yield savings account or short-term treasury bills. Now, let's be clear. This cash isn't for a weekend trip or a new wardrobe. In economic terms, we call this tactical dry powder. Dry powder refers to highly liquid cash reserves kept on the sidelines, ready to be deployed instantly when an investor spots an exceptional high-value opportunity. When the broader stock market panics, headlines scream, and high-quality companies go on a temporary flash sale, you don't want to be caught with zero liquidity. You want that dry powder ready to deploy so you can pick up that premium, undervalued asset at a massive discount. You look at this complete structural layout, you realize something incredibly powerful. You've built a self-sustaining financial ecosystem. You transitioned from simply tracking your numbers on a budgeting spreadsheet to commanding a small army of dollars that work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Building your first $10,000 portfolio isn't about trying to get rich overnight or chasing hyped up trends. It's about setting up the infrastructure for long-term financial freedom. The economic systems we live in are designed to reward the people who own productive assets, not just the people who trade their time for cash. You've mastered the budget. Now it's time to lay down the mortar that holds your wealth together. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so we can get the message out to more people. And also drop a comment letting me know which asset class you want me to break down deep in our next video. And check out the full personal finance playlist to keep your momentum moving forward. This has been John with Value and Mortar signing off. Hit